Hey, how are you?
Good.
Hey guys,
Hey.
are you having a good day?
Yeah, pretty good. Okay, so I'm glad we could all get together today. I wanted to go over some of our assessments that we just took or gave the students the other day. So I thought first we would just start by talking about the learning targets that we wanted to get from our students out of this.
Okay. So, the learning targets are basically the ICANN statement, just to review. And so one of them was describe the presence of the sun in the solar system, and then recall the order in which the planets are from the sun.
Another one was compare and contrast the planets from one another.
Yes, good. So then those are all like the ICANN, like what we want them to be able to say that they can understand and do after that. And I think for the most part, all the students will be able to say that they do understand that. So then I just wanted to go in and talk about like our data that we got back from this. And on my end and on you guys' end, I'm pretty sure 73% of the students scored proficient or higher on this assessment. So that is pretty good, but there's always room for improvement. And then that means 26% did not score proficient or higher. So we have some room to work on.
Yeah, I definitely had a couple students that were behind the rest of the class. So if we can, we need to get them up.
For sure. So do you want to go ahead and talk about the strengths and weaknesses, Ashton?
Yes, so for my class, what we really struggled with was the essay question. I don't know why, if it was just too much or we didn't go over it enough.
Yeah.
And then the true and false kind of stumped them, which was surprising. But so we can work on those areas in the questions that we put.
In my class, short answer was a problem too.
Yeah, I can agree with all of those. Like the true or false questions usually tend to like trip them up. For example, Earth has 3 moons. I mean, they know Earth has a moon. They might not know how many yet, considering this is a kindergarten class. But
I feel like one of the obstacles for us was on the matching. We just had a typo and put 7 planets instead of 8.
so that was our fault. But
I feel like it didn't trip up too many people.
I don't think so either.
Not at all. But yeah, other than that, I think the short answer questions really got to them just because they didn't either put it in complete sentence, so we counted off for that. But other than that, we can just kind of they had trouble distinguishing between 2 planets, so we can probably go ahead and like show them more photographs and have them compare and contrast those ones. But otherwise, the strengths, my students did really good on the multiple choice. I think just process of elimination helped them with that. And then the matching, of course, same kind of deal. And fill in the blank, just especially since they were given a word bank, that kind of helped them a lot.
Yeah,
so
that was the same with my class.
I definitely said multiple choice was really good. I didn't have hardly anybody miss too many of those, so
Yeah, I didn't
that's
either.
a good strength. And then we can go in and talk about the SMART goals that we made. So Emma, do you want to talk about those?
Yeah. So the first one for my class, and I assume it was the same for your guys's, was that the percentage of students scoring proficient or higher in the solar system education unit will increase from 73% to 90% by the end of the unit as measured by scores on summative assessments. So I definitely just want to get that, like, the overall proficient to bump up, and I feel like we can do that because enough of them in my class were close enough.
That's very attainable. I like that.
because if we're going to reteach it, we want to set a high goal.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that was
What was one for your
true.
guys' class?
One for mine, I just kind of said the percentage of students scoring proficient or higher in the presence of the star, sun, and moon in Earth lesson would increase from 73% to 95%, just because if we're going to take the time to reteach them and go over the same kind of thing, we expect there to be a pretty high increase, pretty high jump in there. And then that will be measured by formative assessments this time instead of summative assessments. So really anything from in-class activities, pop quizzes, exit tickets, any type of formative assessment we're going to use to measure that goal. So yeah, other than that, I think both goals are very attainable and measurable. So I'm excited to see how the students do.
Okay. I feel like it's really attainable for both for my class too.
For sure.
And I think just having like these meetings in general is really important, so we can go over what we need to reteach and what students are not understanding, and then come up with like new things like we already discussed. So
But I like being able to compare our data to make sure like my class isn't just behind your guys'.
Yeah.
You know, we're all
And
in
that's
the same
why
place.
these data team meetings are so important. So
Yeah.
I'm glad we got together today, ladies, and we should do it sometime soon, maybe the same time next week.
Yeah, that works for me.
yep.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
See you guys.